guys, welcome back to another Kuma Style review. We're taking a look at Flame Toys' Kuro Kuri 05 Megatron. So this is going to go a little bit faster than most reviews because we already unboxed it. We went over everything that comes in the box. And yeah, watch the unboxing review for specifics on every single piece that it comes with, but I'll still go over them, just not the same as normal. So going ahead and getting this started, if I could find my measuring tape. Okay, measuring tape's found. Of course, the second I turn off the camera, it's right behind me. That's how it always goes. Life of reviewing. So, about 8 3/4 inches tall, head to toe. So I've got it configured a little bit different than we had during the unboxing. Instead of the wing pack on the back, there's actually a filler piece here for when you don't want to have that. Pretty cool stuff. I'm trying to light this well so you guys can see it. It's a lot of black, but it is spaced out a lot better than the Dark Star Saber. With the grays and reds and things like that, I feel like it's just very well done and very well thought out. You know, not saying that Star Saber wasn't, but could have been better. Okay, so we got that. In terms of modular pieces, these gauntlets are. So you take those off. The wing pack has blasters on it. 1, 2. You can put one on his forearms, you can put both on his forearms, however you want to do it. So for each of these though, you can see that they have these slots in the side. And what you can do is actually take the wings themselves, as I throw gauntlets all over the ground. It's one, then take one from the other side. They have to be opposites. And then you just clip those in place. So 1, 2, and I think it's actually upside down, so we're going to do that right. You want the blades pointed downwards. 1, 2. Okay, so you have that there. And we'll do the other side. I was about to say one more side. I'm like, how many sides are there? There are 2. 1, 2. Some says boom. I don't think they do seem to clip in place. So yeah, it holds really well. And of course, these have lights on them. So it's as simple as 1, 2. The lights, you can see them here, but from the front, it's a little bit harder to see. I actually really like that look. I'm not going to lie. That looks cool as heck. Okay. But there he is with that configuration. Okay, so while getting everything configured back, I kind of want to show you guys how it all goes. So this has parts that flip out the bottoms, flip out the top, and then the gun store in here. They just peg in, there are pegs right there, peg in. Alright, so this piece on his back, just press those 2 pieces in, see how they fold out, come in, boom, boom. And then it should be obvious which side is the bottom. There's a thruster on the bottom. Why that'd be on top to shoot him down into the ground is beyond me, but thruster on the bottom, and there is his wing pack. Okay, so we're going to put that away from the top for the time being. Get him back up here, and we're just going to start getting them. You know what? Before we start getting him configured, let's actually go over his articulation. Calling it an audible. All right. So the head, ball joint-ish on the top. Another ball joint where the clavicle meets the neck. I know there are wires and stuff like that in here for the eyes to light up, so I don't really go to the extremes when it comes to like the head and neck articulation. Kind of where it starts to give me pause, I stop because I don't want to potentially pop it off, have wires come loose and things like that, and potentially get frayed. All right, so that's what we're looking at the head and the neck. Shoulders, 360 rotation. All right, so this piece goes in and out. That flap there. Outward. Okay. We just had a little something fall off here. Seems like it came from this side. I will figure that out in a moment because I want to keep this going. And I'll let you guys know exactly where it goes because I like keeping you guys on the up, you know, if little pieces fall off. It looks like it just unpegged from something. But, okay. So that's the parallel. The shoulder, it moves down a little bit, but it doesn't really move up. There's a lot of butterfly towards the front there. Back a little bit, but I think the shoulders are more reared back by default rather than like them actually butterflying any farther back. There is like up and down butterflying too, which is really cool. 360, double jointed, and there are some animated parts there. So if you look at the elbow, this goes into this, boom, boom. All right, forearms do swivel, and then the wrists swivel, and then there's a whole rocking joint beneath. Okay, zoom out a little bit there. Waist, we're gonna go to the side rock, because not a lot of toys have that. All right, get this parallel. Back bend. Now let's look at the ab crunch because both the waist itself and that chest part have movement in both of them. So you see this kind of goes up and over, which is cool. That waist part, look at that. Boom, boom. And then further ab crunch. It's not a ton, but it's neat that it has multiple moving parts. All right, so get that back down. And the waist itself doesn't extend. It's just for that forward bend, okay? All right, about 45, 45. The only reason it goes like 45 degrees is because the way this like crotch piece is, it like bends upwards on each side, so it hits when it comes. If it was flat, it'd do a full 360, no problem. All right, hips, outward, forward. So it has automatic drops. They're built into it when you swing them. All right, and backwards, unfortunately, not much, just because of the hip meeting there. Now, it has a lot of inward swing, the hips, for whatever reason. So if you want them to be pigeon-toed, by all means, you got it. But outward, not a ton, about 45 degrees out. Knee bend, huge die-cast knees. And this is a die-cast figure if you haven't noticed. Now look at the knee. It has these animated parts here, like right here, right here. So, see if I can do that. 1, 2. So I'm going to do it again. Watch the knee. 1, 2. All right. Bring that back. Take a look at the feet. Do the feet drop? Don't seem to, but this moves in. Does that move out all the way? Yeah. So good amount of ankle tilt there. Nice strong ankle tilt too. All right. Don't want to push it too hard. But then backwards, this piece moves as well. And forward, this piece moves as well. A lot of animation there. So the foot can move down some, and then the front of the like the toes here, they move as well. Just really cool stuff. Forearms. I just want to show you guys a little something. While we're here, might as well look at the light gimmicks too. So these panels on the back of the shoulders come off. Boom. Put the panel back. I'll probably just leave the lights on for the rest of the review. Why not? Take the panel off the other shoulder. There's a switch. Okay. This panel here was a little bit hard for me to get off the first time. It's still not the easiest, but there's that. Now this is going to need a spudger or something like that to get into. Very carefully, I just use the front of this panel piece. Switch it. That controls both the chest and his eyes. And then on each side of the legs, these outer panels here come out, and there's a switch. It's not nearly as invasive as it used to be. Now this one does come with the batteries pre-installed. All you have to do is remove these panels, and then there's a little clear plastic piece that you pull out in order for the batteries to touch each other. Now the chest did not have that clear piece. So the batteries were already touching each other. So if you get this, even if you leave it boxed, I would unbox it since it's not sealed anyway, and take these batteries in particular out because they don't have anything keeping them from touching, and they are liable to corrode if you leave them. You know, because I know some of you guys are inbox collectors and stuff like that, but you can still keep it in box without ruining the integrity of the box itself and stuff. All right, so moving on. Okay, now in terms of where that little piece goes that came off, it came off the end of this. It doesn't affect the covering or anything like that. I don't believe. I'm going to look at the instructions real quick when it comes to just attaching the backpacks and things. No, even on the instructions, it doesn't have this piece coming off or anything, so it doesn't come off for a particular reason. It's literally just not glued, so I'll leave it as is, so I'm not too fussed about that. But that's where that piece goes. Now, getting some of these parts moved on. Alright, so in the unboxing video, I said I didn't know where the swords go. They go right here, inside of this hip skirt piece, so... Alright, we'll look at some of the articulation here. It has a hinge there. It has in and out flaps. These as well. And the swords, they just have a spot that pegs in. There are little slits inside of the swords. Boom. Got to find the right side because only one side of each sword has that hole in it. And this just pegs into his rear. Like so. And then you can adjust it accordingly. So bring these around. Yeah, I wish they would have made it peg a little bit better, but it's not the worst. And the reason that I'm doing it while he's posed instead of standing him straight up, which I'll do in a second, is it shows you kind of how intrusive these pieces are, you know? Alright, so there's that. Get these pieces back on. Why not? Two. And then his wings. Boom. Now the wings are pretty cool. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. Make sure this is tilted upwards. But these are actually on hinges. So you can bring them around and you can even bring them up. And then, of course, lights, camera, action. And it does change his balance a bit. Those wings aren't light. They're not too heavy for him to carry, but yeah, there's that. He's all beefed up. That's Megatron. Alright, and next, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at his gun. And I want to give you guys an opportunity to actually look at how it's supposed to be configured inside of this suitcase in case you got the D4 Toys exclusive version that comes with the rifle case. So let me, boom. Okay, so I'm going to put this here. And then, because honestly, the instructions don't show it at all, which is unfortunate. It doesn't come with an extra slip of paper or anything like that. Let me see if I can get this nice and lit. I'm going to bring up the brightness some. Alright, it looks like you guys should be able to see it there. But I'm just going to let this set for a second, so that you guys can see exactly how things are supposed to go inside of that exclusive suitcase. Honestly, I didn't know until I Googled official pictures of it and things like that. And you shouldn't have to do that. There should be something saying, you know, hey, this goes here. But pretty cool. Houses the G1 Megatron gun, like the sight, all of the rifle extensions and things like that. It's really freaking cool. But let's take a look. All right, we can go ahead and darken this now because it's way too bright. Take a look at how it goes. So this piece, this is the holster for main gun. Keeps that on there. And it just goes in like so. Alright. And it's hard to see here, but inside of the line in here, zoom in and see if I can't show you guys. Alright, so you can sort of see it right there. Alright, so there are some divots in here, but then there's a blatant, like, gap. My finger shadow keeps covering it up, but if you look at this little line right here that my hand's over, there's going to be a gap about right there. And then it's a thin peg, put a long peg, and it just goes in like so. So pretty cool, calf holster. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. Now, if you want this to become the more extended sniper rifle, it's pretty easy. There are only two parts, so bring that forward. The whole thing just goes up to here. Okay, make sure I'm doing this right. Should I put on the buttstock first? Let's see. Let's see if I actually got this right. Yep, that's it right there. Okay, so that's the whole thing. It does come with the stands as well. Pretty cool stuff. And again, you get all of the parts for this either way. The only thing that's exclusive is the case, and it comes with an additional face, which we'll go over right now with the faces. Okay, and I've upped the brightness a bit. The way that the faces come out, you can see his default face here, really good detailing. And for those of you who don't know which version of Megatron this is the Stealth Bomber Mega Man, which turns into a Stealth Bomber from the IDW comics. Really cool iteration. So, front piece to his helmet comes out. And then this face slides right out. And I will say, this is the easiest time I've had with the faces. And I'm not going to lie, even that looks cool. What is it? The Gundam, is it called the Leos? The one that the Tallgeese was derived from? Huh, or I think the Tallgeese came first and then the Leos came afterwards. But anyway, the suit's from Wing Gundam. Alright, so this is the additional face that comes with all of the releases. So whether you get it from D4 Toys or the international versions, you'll get this face, this grimacing face here. Looks like he's actually kind of grinning more than anything. That's awesome. He reminds me so much of Beast Wars Megatron right there too, which isn't a bad thing. Beast Wars is a shit. There's that. Alright, so let's go ahead, get this off. And I am lightly using my nails. You just gotta be a little careful. Just find the right groove or whatever. Comes right out. And this is the Screaming face. That's the D4 Toys exclusive. It actually comes inside of the rifle case. Alright. I apologize if you hear my dog losing her absolute mind up there. I don't know why she's doing it. That's why it's called losing your mind. And not normal Wednesday shenanigans. But yeah, again, this is one of those ones to where it looks so maniacal that I really can't tell whether this is supposed to be joy or rage. And it fits the character so freaking well. But look at that, isn't that beautiful? To me, even looking through the LCD here, this looks more like CGI than actual plastic and die-cast product, man. So cool. Okay, the only other weapon here is his mace. So, comes like this by default. I'm actually going to move all this back so we got a little bit more space. Comes like that by default. And then if you want the extensions, it's just as simple as unpegging that. Pegging in the extension. And boom. Pretty cool stuff. Now the hands, I mean, pretty straightforward stuff. You have ones that are either at an angle or straight. I'm going to make sure, I like to keep them pretty right-handed, but I got to find the right hand, literally. There's that. Okay, this is it. I'm like tooling around with it while I'm looking right at it. So, there's that. Make sure the forearms turn the right way, that helps. Alright, and here he is holding the mace. And the mace itself has multiple joints. You just kind of got to figure out, you know, what works. I mean, all things considered, it does balance pretty well. Zoom out so you can actually see how it looks with all that. I mean, be creative with it. Okay, and instead of just looking at the swords in hand, I'm going to try this double sword gimmick that I'm seeing here in the instructions. We'll see if I can make this work. So it says to do it, you got to separate it into 3 pieces. Okay, boom, boom. Then from there, I guess, it's as simple as 1, 2. I'm not going to lie, I did not expect that to work out that easily. So, okay. Double sword. And it's cool because, like, no matter what handle you choose, it only uses, like, one handle and things like that. It doesn't look janky. This is really freaking cool. And the way that the hands work, it's just like Metal Build Gundams or, hell, any of the rest of the Flame Toys figures. You just have to... It is flexible plastic, so yeah. There's that. And I actually want this back. So that means this has to be forward. This is not. Make sure this pegs are tight. Agreeing with me, move that foot forward. See, it's a little bit different with the wing pack on, not gonna lie. But we're seeing if we can make it work. I got my ankle articulation out. Did we do it? I think we did it. I think we're on the cusp, guys. Now what? Now what? Talk to me about my posing. Shit. Thank you. Thank you very much. And before we hit you with the final pose and send you guys off, I would just like to look at the wings and the gimmicks behind those. So the wings themselves, they do expand out. They go forward as well. And each of them has like a hinge here, hinge here. This one, hinge. So I mean, you could have them down, you could have them up, which I prefer, which is cool. You could even have them like, you know, kind of, yeah. And I've got the wrong side over here, of course. And when that happens, it's as simple as just switching them around. Fun, fun. I'd have noticed that at some point. It's like that didn't line up right. But yeah. So you can have them down, you can have them up. You have one up, one down, just however you want to do it. But then with the wings themselves, I'll choose this one actually. It's right here. This expands and this piece goes up. So you have a little bit of gimmick in there as well. Yeah, outside of that, yeah. Okay. And if you want a different look, you could even flip it the other way if you want to do it like that. On the back of the box, it has his wings flipped upside down as well. I mean, whatever you want to do. And then, of course, the wings move in and out on a hinge. We already went over the blasters, how they attach those hinges as well. All right, let's get this done and get you guys out of here. And all right, finishing it up here. Here he is, sniper rifle in hand. Just plain going for it. Really, really like the aesthetic on this guy. Love that I was able to figure out, you know, where the swords go and things like that. I forgot one, but yeah. But overall, good stuff. I love that he ended up having, you know, like full weapon storage and this and that. And just overall, solid engineering. I really like the accessibility of the lights. The lights light up well. I mean, there's not much that you could ask for, or more that you could ask for from this. I think it's pretty standard Flame Toys fare at this point, in the sense that if you've seen one, you've kind of seen them all and know what to expect in terms of like gimmickry and things like that. But the gimmicks are so good, the product is so, the die cast, the heft to it, the feel of the kind of gloss finish in hand and things like that. They're just very well done pieces. But anyway, this has been another Kuma style review. Again, Flame Toys, Kuro, Kuri, 05 Megatron. Sound off in the comments. Let me know what you think of this guy. Full article and gallery will be up soon on kumastyle.com. Link will be in the description of that. And also in the description is a link to TF Source where you could order yours as well. Again, like, share, subscribe. The more support, the merrier. Keeps me, doesn't pay my bills, but it definitely keeps me motivated to keep doing this stuff because it is fun for me. But anyway, I'll see you next review. Stay healthy, stay safe.